If you're someone who is interested in a visa sponsorship job, or if you are dreaming of working abroad on a visa sponsorship job, this is my honest advice to you. Before my MBA graduation, I had three visa sponsorship jobs, and I had to decide which of them I was going to work with because I cannot work for all the three companies. And the system in China was that if company A sponsors you for the job, you cannot work for another company. It's illegal. So, and if you stop working for company A and you want to go and work for company B, you need company A to release you, giving you a cancellation letter that shows that yes, you're no longer working for that company before the company B can also process your work permit for you. So the system is very strict. That was my first time getting that visa sponsorship job. So I decided on one, and that was going to allow me to still continue living at Wuhan. All right. So that was where I was in China. And the process was very strict. I think during that period, it was a bit flexible because you could be able to get the English teaching visa, the work permit visa. So for me, my first work permit visa China was an English teaching. All right. But now things has changed and it's not like that. I think after the COVID situation, things changed. And because of that, I also have to change my location from Wuhan to one of the island cities, which is Sanya City, which is also known the Hawaii of China, a very beautiful city. Because during that period at Wuhan, my employer made me aware ahead of time that looking at the time and looking at the situation that is happening at Wuhan, um, I'm not quite sure if I was going to get or they're going to extend the visa for me to continue working there. So I have to quickly look for another options. And then I had a new visa sponsorship job in a different location and I moved there. So the visa sponsorship jobs is not always the situation that the company is going to give you 100% sponsorship. If you are fortunate and the company gives you 100% sponsorship, great. If you are not fortunate and the company is not giving you 100% sponsorship, this is what will happen. You are going to put some part of it, and also the company do other part of it, and it becomes a win-win affair. So you need to understand that. Once you are sponsored, that means the company is going to take the legal responsibility for your work visa. And not all visa sponsorship jobs offer full legal support. So verify details. Okay, verify the details. So not all sponsorship visa jobs gives you that full. Fortunately for me, at China, all the companies I worked for, with the exception of one agency, all the direct jobs that I got through the companies, I had three. I worked for three companies on visa sponsorship. It was only one of them that I have to pay something in relation to the legal documentations. But however, the other two were fully sponsored. That means they took care of everything, right? They took care of everything. But the other agency, I have to pay part, and then they also have to pay part of it. So that's how it works. So you always have to verify the information, verify the details. Don't be so excited that you forget about the little details in the contract or the offer that you have been offered. Another important advice I want to give you is that check government website and embassy guidelines. You see, sometimes people are being scammed into visa sponsorship jobs all over. People are being scammed. So when you don't check and when you don't verify informations, you become a victim of that. So don't forget this. Check and verify informations. Now, let me give you some red flags when it comes to fake or unreliable job offers. I mean, there are good agents, there are bad agents in everything. There's negative, there's positive, of course. So job offers that seem too good to be true. Employers asking for upfront visa processing fee. Some may be genuine. It all depends on your verification. It all depends on how you are verifying. All right. So make sure that the employers, the details they are asking you, look into it well. If it's something that is genuine, then of course you can pay for the upfront visa fee. And no official contract or unclear job details. You are not being given any job contract, or you are not even given a clear job details as to what you are going to do. Then you are just informed, oh, you have this job, you have this number of hours. That let everything be in a contract. Ask for contract. Ask and make sure that these contracts are also genuine. Use official job boards. For example, you can use LinkedIn, you can use the government approved sites to also check for the jobs. For LinkedIn, I mean, most people on LinkedIn are recruiters and job CEOs, job founders, and all that. So it's more of a professional networking community. So you can go on LinkedIn. If LinkedIn works for you, all right, you can do that. But let's talk about your CV. CV is very important when you are applying for a visa sponsorship job. You have to make sure that your CV is more foreign friendly or internationally friendly or international standard. What I mean by this is that when the employers gets hold of your CV, they can, sing it to the country and then the job that you're coming to do. So use quantifiable achievements, achievement that are quantifiable, achievement that is realistic on your CV. Make sure you research successful CVs, and if you need any advice or if you need anyone to help you on your CV too, you can send me an email. Check the video description. You can send me an email. I'll review your CV for you. So make sure your CV is up to the international standard. Another mistake people or some applicants do is that they mixed up their jobs on the CV. I help some companies in China, my former companies that I work with, because of the good relationship I have with the employers. I do help them with recruitment for English teachers. And one common thing I always observe is that their CVs contains different job roles. So, for example, if you are applying for an English teaching job in countries like Vietnam, China, Japan, or the Asian countries where English teaching is really a big gig, if you get a good company, then it's a good place to be. Make sure that if you're applying for that role, don't mix up any other previous role that you had, which is not related to teaching or even training. If you have some training skills, you can add because it goes with teaching as well. So they are mixed up. They have some who have experience in banking, engineering, and it's mixed up with the teaching. So if you're applying for a teaching role, make your CV a teaching CV. If you're applying for any administration and management role, let your CV goes in that form. Don't mix a teaching experience with management and administration role that you're applying for. It's an off thing for employers. and recruiters and employers are doing more advanced in terms of technology. They will use a software to check, all right, your CV, and it picks if it picks the keywords, because keywords are inputted into the software and your CV is just dropped in. So it picks if your CV has those keywords, it picks. So you have to look at the job description and also the role you're applying for, and look at your CV and then make sure that it's in sync with the job description. In that way, the software will be able to pick your CV and you get an interview, and then you just nail your interview. You're applying for a teaching job, make sure you have a teaching CV. You're applying for a role related to healthcare, healthcare assistant. You don't need a teaching experience and a healthcare assistant. I see a lot of this when I'm doing a CV review and also when I'm helping my former employers to recruit people or recruit applicants to their companies. I see this a lot and it affects their chances because teaching, and then you see engineering, and then you see IT, and then you see because you are applying for teaching. Let's all be under teaching. So if you need a teaching CV to work in any teaching field, you can also send me an email and I'll check it out for you. And any other CVs that you want to write, if you're having any difficulties for reviewing or whatever it is, send me an email. I've met stranded people um, in India, in China, in Vietnam, Philippines, and Singapore, where they are stranded because of job scams. So, my advice is instead of paying a 3 month visa and traveling to the country, why don't you take the time, do your research, get network to people who can give you credible information and apply for the job so that when you get a job, you can just go. Because the people that I have met and they share their story to me are people that some agents, I mean, promised them jobs. They get them either a 1 month visa, 2 month visa, 3 month visa to travel to the country. And when they get to the country and the time is nearing for the visa to expire, there are no jobs, they get frustrated and they have to do visa run, which is also another cost of money. So depending on what you want to do, my honest advice is that do the research, apply for the jobs. Yes, it takes time, trust me, but it's possible because throughout nearly my 10 years of traveling, all the jobs, all the works that I have done is all through visa sponsorships. There are several jobs that I applied, I was rejected, and there are jobs that I applied, I get the offers, and I choose to decide whether to go for this job offer or not. So it depends on how plan you do your things and the planning and how organized you want to do your things. So make sure that if you are working with any agency, the agent should be a correct person and not giving you any information that can also get you stranded like some of these people. And make sure that even if it's not an agent and it's any company, for example, you get a job in US, UK, wherever, and you know anyone at UK or in the UK, you can contact the person to verify this company. Or even on the job letter or the contract they send you, if they have their website there or if have their email there, you can try sending an email to the email. If it goes through, you can also go to the website and check if genuinely they have the company there. And once you do that, it helps you. You can also go on Google and review all the visa sponsorship jobs. I went on Google to verify, to get some reviews of these companies. I go to their website and make sure that, okay, they are really genuine. I get 1 or 2 people to also verify for me whether what I'm receiving is credible. and that helps to clear your mind and avoid any situations. Network well and make sure you connect with the right people. Use the right platforms. Some of the platforms I've shared with you. For example, in the UK, you can check the government website that has a tall list, over 1,000 list of companies that are giving visa sponsorship jobs. So you pick the company, you go on Google, you search on Google, go to their website, check the vacancies they have there, apply directly. When I was in China, the 3 visa sponsorship jobs offers that I had came from close friends. One friend was working in that particular company and she recommended me. The other company too, I searched it by myself through one of the Chinese app called Boss. So if you're in China and if you're looking for a visa sponsorship job, you can also use the Boss app, that's BOSS, Boss. It has both the Chinese language and the English language. And I got 2 visa sponsorship jobs actually from this app. And I stopped working for the agent because I didn't like the conditions the agent was giving to me. So after I got this job, I just moved to the company directly. So use the job platforms that works for you. Verify information and do some research for yourself. In China, same situations. I met some people, they talked to me about their situations, job scams, blah, blah, blah. Vietnam, same. In Singapore too, I met some people, same as well. So it's something that is going. So make sure you network with the right people. Trust me, although traveling is good, it can also create a lot of problems for you if you don't plan things well. So that would be my honest advice to you. Now, networking helps. So make sure that you message people in your target industry that you are interested in. You target people and then you ask them. So the areas that I am interested in, that is where I am focused. And then I research and connect with people, or if I don't want to connect with people, if I don't want to ask questions, I just go on Google and I search for the information. Visa sponsorship jobs on Google. It will give you a tall list. Then you check, then you do apply. How long will this take for it to go through? Visa sponsorship jobs can take months, weeks, even days, or even years, all depending on the process. All depending on the process. I had a visa sponsorship job interview, and the interview had to go through 4 stages. There are some situations you have to even go 5 stages. So it takes a long time. So it can take a day, it can take a week, maybe months for you to get a job. I had a visa sponsorship job in Vietnam that took about 2 days for me to get a job, and then to get a job. So it depends on the company that you are applying to. However, irrespective of the fact that it takes long, the process takes long, you don't need to rush the process. Okay, this is not cooking rice in a rice cooker where you put in the rice and then after some few minutes the rice is cooked. No, visa sponsorship jobs is not cooking rice in a rice cooker. It takes time. Even the rice cooker, when you are cooking, it takes time, right? How much more the visa sponsorship job? There's that a rice cooker is faster than the job. So please, it takes time, but trust me, it is always possible. It is always possible. So you need to be patient and go through the process. So my advice to you is that you should apply for multiple opportunities. So at least you can target 2 or 3 websites, that are in your target area. So if it's for teaching, you can look at countries like Vietnam, China, the UK. Yeah, UK do have some teaching jobs, but then I think it's more of the health, IT, engineering stars. But yes, you can also go to the UK. The US, Europe has some English teaching jobs, but and the UAE, I mean the Arab countries, right? And Asia as well. Asia, China, Vietnam, Philippines, Singapore, more of the IT, and then I mean the tourism administration area. Okay, so look at your target area and then search for the jobs within your target area and apply for more jobs. You get some companies who will reply back to you with an unfortunate response. You get some companies who will even not respond to your application. So take it easy and apply for multiple opportunities. Have a backup plan when you are doing the application. So that when you are rejected, you know that okay, this plan is there. Now for me, applying for visa sponsorship jobs and getting rejected it doesn't feel anything to me because I have seen a huge number of rejections, and I have also experienced some of the good results where in China I had 3 visa sponsorship jobs. Vietnam I had 4 sponsorship jobs. In China too, I had 1 visa sponsorship from the US and all that. So you need to keep applying for so many roles. Apply within that target area so that when you are rejected, you can know that okay, I applied for this. Look, some companies will give you feedback why you are rejected. Some companies will not. So you have to just know that. Adjust your strategy and make sure you reapply if needed. Be ready for a long process and stay patient. Be patient and don't rush the process. It can take days. Like I said, I got some visa sponsorship jobs from Vietnam that took days. All right. It can also take weeks. For China, when I was in China, it took about weeks and months for me to get it. So be patient and make sure that you are going through the process. Don't rush the process. It's not cooking rice in the rice cooker. Keep improving your application while waiting. So when you are rejected from one opportunity, you get to know why you are rejected. If you don't know why you are rejected, make sure that you strategize your CV. The CV is very important. As I said earlier on, if you're applying for a teaching job, make sure you have a teaching CV. If you're applying for a healthcare job, make sure that the job is all under healthcare. Your experiences, your skills is healthcare. If you're applying for an IT role, make sure it is an IT role. Don't mix them up. If you mix them up, it becomes difficult for the recruiter to know which field that you're applying for. Even if the job title or the job role you're applying for is teaching, and you mix all your experiences with it without all of the teaching, it becomes also difficult. So these are some of the mistakes that some applicants do go through, and I have seen several when I'm helping my employers back in China, my former employers. I help them in doing the recruitment, and then I do see some of these mistakes. So you don't want to mix your experiences together. Have your teaching CV, have your IT CV, have your banking and finance CV, have your administration. So customer service roles all can come under administration. Do that. And then do apply and it can help you too. So some companies can ask you that. How will you contribute to the company? Show some enthusiasm, all right? Show enthusiasm, show research. Answer these questions and make sure that, you know about a company and then you know what you are bringing on board. Prepare strong, clear answers about your skills and your goals. Clear and make sure that you prepare yourself well. Be confident for the interview. Usually, the interview will be virtual because you are not in the same country, so it has to be virtual. Make sure you prepare yourself and show some enthusiasm and speak to the interviewers. Make sure that they know that yes, you've read about the company and then you know what you're up to. Now, the next advice I would like to share is that you should know about the work culture and legal requirement. The work culture and the legal requirement. I mean, for China, when I was in China, it's raining, it's snowing, you are going to work. If you don't go to work, you are not paid. That's the system. So you have to learn that, okay, that is how their work culture is. When it's raining, unless the country weather forecast issue a red or maybe an orange warning messages, and then your employer will tell you that, oh, due to the bad weather today, we are not going to work. Then you can stay home. If not, then you have to go to work like this as I'm going to work in China. So you have to go to work, whether it's raining or not. You go to the work. If you don't go, you don't get paid. And that's the work culture. So you have to know about the work culture. And when you get to know about the work culture, it helps you to, learn the process and then, involve yourself, get used to it so that it can help you. So I got used to it in China. It's snowing, it's raining, and I'm going to work. I don't have any problem. I just make sure I'm safe on the road. And when there are messages that come from the employer that due to the bad weather, you don't have to come, I stay home. That's the work culture. Rain or shine, you have to go to work unless otherwise. Some countries require medical examinations. Medical examination is part of the process and you have to do it because it's work matter and you have to be strong to do the job. So you have to go through the medical examination about that. So some countries, like I've shared with you, would do medical examination or background checks. So if you know the work culture, how they do their things, and you understand the working environment, it helps you to, fit yourself in, and it prevents any unnecessary agitations between you and your colleague workers or even the employer. So understand the workplace etiquette, and if you don't know something, you ask. If you don't know something, you ask. It helps you to also learn. You don't have to be quiet when you don't know something. Learn about employee rights before signing contracts. When you have the contract, make sure that you read carefully to understand your rights, because usually it's either they have their first part being the employer's part and then the second part being your part. Read the employer's part, read your part, and make sure that you understand. And before you sign, share your concern, if any. Hence, always rely on official immigration offices. If you are someone who wants to use the immigration experts to apply for jobs or look for visa sponsorship jobs abroad, it's important that you check on official immigration website or official immigration experts offices for such service, because of course there are immigration experts out there who really do good job helping candidates to get job abroad. So if you want to use such services, make sure it's verifiable and they are genuine and they do have their license. Now, financial preparation is key when you are traveling abroad to work. It's very important that you search the cost of living. When I was going to Vietnam, China, wherever, I search for the cost and then you plan ahead. So you search for the cost of living, the housing, taxes on in your target country. So you search about all this. You can search for this information on YouTube, on Google. Even you can ask the employer or the company who is going to be giving you the visa sponsorship some of these questions so that you get to know how to plan. Then you save 3 to 6 months of expenses because you can go through some financial challenges, especially when you arrive and the company is not catering for everything. I've been in such situation before where the company contract changed and I have to go through a series of financial problems to settle down. So it's very important that you plan financially very well. Then make sure that there are some jobs that require self-funded relocation. So you need to verify. When you have the offer from the employers, ask them, am I going to self-fund my travel to the country or you are going to do that? So some companies will give you some relocation package. Some companies don't do that. So you need to make sure you verify. There are companies that will, there are companies that you will found or you self-found your travel to the country, and when you arrive, they will reimburse to you. Some companies don't do at all. You need to verify. Then plan your budget very, very well. Plan your budget before moving so you don't go into certain situations that can cause problems for you. Now, let's do a quick recap of my honest advice to you. If you are someone who is looking for a job abroad in terms of visa sponsorship job, this is my advice. First, understand what visa sponsorship job really means. Second, I shared with you, look out for the red flags. Not all the companies out there are genuine. Neither, not all of them are scammers. So you need to look out for the red flags. You also have to optimize your CV to that international standard. And I gave you the details, what you need to do, not mixing up your experiences. If you're applying for an X role, make sure that the role you're applying for sticks to that and all your experiences goes with that. Don't mix your healthcare experiences, banking experiences, teaching experiences for a teaching job. Make sure you have your teaching job CV. Make sure you have your healthcare CV. Make sure you have your cybersecurity or IT CV, engineering CV, and apply for the job. Don't mix them up. It creates a lot of rejections for applicants. And I review some applicants' CVs and I see such mistakes a lot when I'm helping my employers or my former employers in China to recruit teachers. I see such situations a lot. Then I also touch on networking and using online job platforms. Make sure that you are using and you are connecting with the right people, asking the right people the questions that you need for your target area, and you avoid being scammed. Now, once you do that, the next I spoke about was for you to be ready for a short or a long process. So be ready for short or long process for the job, and the key is you to be patient. It takes time. It can be short, it can be long. All you need is to take time. There are some visa sponsorship jobs that took longer time for me to go through a process and start work. There are some jobs too that took about 48 hours for everything to go through for me to move to the country. So take it easy and don't be in a rush. And you should also look at financial preparation, which is key, and that's advice number 6. Financial preparation is key. Prepare financially, save enough for yourself so that when you get to the country and anything changes, you don't get yourself stranded. But when you have the opportunity for the job interview, search about the company, read about the company, get to know the company, and nail the interview. It's an opportunity for you to nail the interview and ask relevant questions when you are given opportunity to ask the questions. Also, tell them why you think you are the best candidate, what you are bringing on board, and what the company cannot get from you. So make sure you speak and communicate well about your experience and skills you are bringing on board. 8, advice, I said, know the work culture and also the legal requirement. Knowing the work culture helps you to go through the system and work smoothly without having any shock or without having any problems with the employer. So the work culture can be the time to work, the weather conditions and all that. You need to understand all these situations and also the legal requirement for the country. What is it required? You have to go through medical checks. You have to maybe present some police reports showing that you are not a criminal from your home country. You have to do that. I remember when I was in China, I needed a police criminal report and also have to do the medical report. And for some companies, every year that you have to renew your work visa, you need to do the medical report. China and Vietnam, I did that. So every year you have to renew. And I also touched on the 9th advice that I shared was that work with licensed immigration experts. If you are someone who wants to employ or get the services of an immigration expert who gives jobs to applicants abroad. There are some immigration officers whose service is to give job to applicants abroad. So if you are interested in that specific area, you make sure that these licensed immigration officers are genuine. Finally, you plan and then you do your own research too. Whether you are doing a thing by yourself or even an agent is doing it for you, also do some research and plan for yourself. It helps you to know the process. It helps you to avoid any situation that you wouldn't like to face. So plan and also do your own research. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be informed, make sure you are patient, be strategic, and ask questions when you don't know. Connect with the right people. The journey is challenging to get a visa sponsorship job. I must tell you, I've been through it, I've experienced it, the good, the bad, I've been through it, and this is my honest advice to you. It can be challenging, but one thing is sure, the reward is worth it. If you need any help with your CV review, CV writing for any international job, interview preparation, if you are traveling and you are going for a visa interview, student, work, irrespective of the visa interview you are going, and you need any advice, you can send me an email to dostnomadinfo@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like, share, let me know in the comment section, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate you watching this video, and there is one favor I want to ask from you. Please share this video and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until I see you again, stay safe and peace.